Is your brain playing tricks on you? Is your brain holding you back from achieving the things that you want? Is that even possible? Well, yes, it is, because there is a thing called cognitive biases, and sometimes they work for us, sometimes they work against us. And the challenge is that sometimes we don't even know. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you about 4 cognitive biases that you need to know how they affect you and how they may be preventing you from living your best life. Now, if you don't know what a cognitive bias is this. Okay, what you need to know is that your brain uses a tremendous amount of energy. Roughly 20% of the energy you use is used by the brain to perform all the amazing things the brain does. So just like a smartphone, our brain has some energy saving, functionality. And this is where cognitive biases enter the room. A cognitive bias, in simple words, is an ability that the brain has to simplify the way we process and interpret information from the world around us. This allows us to make faster decisions, faster judgment, but also to reduce the amount of energy that we use so that this energy can be used for something else. There are plenty of biases, but in this video, I'm going to show you 4 biases that in my opinion, are extremely important. So let's get right into it, guys. The first one is the confirmation bias. It's probably one of the most famous or notorious one. A confirmation bias is basically your brain looking for evidences to support your current belief system. So you're gonna look and filter information around you, and you're only gonna pick up relevant information that are aligned with your present perception of yourself or your present belief system about a particular situation or thing or place or whatever you're doing in that context. Why is that important? Because if you have positive, empowering beliefs about yourself, for example, you're gonna keep on looking for reaffirmation about all the things you did well to reaffirm that belief system. But if you're struggling and if you see yourself as not good enough, if you see yourself with flaws and maybe you have beliefs about the way you look, right? You feel like, oh my God, I look ugly today. And then your brain is gonna show you evidence, or oh, he looked at me this way, or she did that, or I'm sure she thinks that. So we're gonna interpret the world around us based on the filter of the beliefs that we have. And unfortunately, this prevents us from thinking outside the box, but also it prevents us and blinds us a little bit into thinking differently, because if those beliefs are not serving us, they can actually affect us negatively. That's why it's always important to introspect and look at what is the core belief beyond all of this, beyond the evidence. Is it true? Is it absolutely true? And when you start to introspect, you can uncover the root belief or the root thoughts behind all the evidence that you've been piling up. So this is the first bias, the confirmation bias. The second one is the like or love tendency. What is that? Well, this is the tendency that when we like or love someone, a person, a group, a company, or a product or a service, we treat them differently. We are blinded by our like or our love for them, and so the way we see them, the way we judge them is different than maybe other people or other branded. For example, let's say you have a big company or you have a celebrity and something happened to them. Let's say the Will Smith slap early on. If you're a big fan of Will Smith for years, you might underlook this because of your love and like for them. So you might rationalize and side with that person. And so your like or love tendency is affecting and blinding the fact and allows you to not be objective to the situation. It's the same with big companies that you like, and you find out that they're building all those gears and shoes and whatever in, child labor camps somewhere in China. But you rationalize it, or you overlook it, or you close your eyes to it because of your love for the product or the brand. And so this love-like tendency can affect us sometimes, even in our personal relationship, when we overlook the flaws, overlook the red sign, when we are dating or in our partners, and we end up staying and justifying why we're still staying and loving that person no matter all the things that we know. And this, coupled with the first bias, we're gonna continue to look for evidence of why we should love them and continue to love them. So this is the second bias, the love and liking tendency. So you can see how this can really blind your judgment and keep you subjective, keep you changing and distorting the fact, and actually can really change the way you make decision and judgment based on the filter of who you like and love. Now, the third bias is the social proof bias. And this one is huge, especially on social media, on the internet today. It is everywhere. When is the last time you watched a movie? Did you check the reviews first? Last time you ordered or you went to a restaurant, did you check the reviews first? Last time you booked an hotel, did you check the rating first? Last time you ordered something on the internet, did you check the rating first? We are extremely influenceable by what people do, what people say. It's the herd mentality, follow the pack. And when we don't know what to do, or we don't know how or what, we look for what other people do. And then we do like them. We follow the herd, we follow the pack, so to speak. Sometimes it works. It's amazing because people show us, their reviews and we know pretty much what to expect. So sometimes it's amazing. And sometimes we follow blindly. And what's good for them might not be good for me. And so we end up in situations what's not good for us because we didn't think about it truly or from our perspective, but simply we allow ourselves to just follow, and we became followers. And sometimes we end up in this trap of just following the masses, thinking like everybody else, never criticizing, never thinking, never rational. You don't have that critical thinking that can allow you to think and step back. And so we just follow the masses. And so that is the third cognitive bias, the social proof, that can be a powerful tool, especially when you know the amount of fake gurus, fake reviews, and manipulated, reviews and authority that we have on social media today. And so con artists also operate this way. They build up, a fake world with social proof and testimonials that are fake, and they make it so amazing that you fall into it. And you feel, wow, that guy is a real deal, or that company is a real deal. And you invest your money with them, and then they cannot disappear. And you hear stories about things like that all the time. So we are highly influenceable whenever there is social proof involved. So that was the third one. And finally, we go into the last cognitive bias for today, which is the authority bias. Very similar to the social proof bias, but this one is our extraordinary ability to believe people who are in place of authority or the expert. Doctors, dentists, politicians, your boss, the people in charge, experts, gurus, all those people with title, badge, or people who have a lot of, authority in their field or credential or, success and authority. In a study they did about crossing the street, when a person wears a suit and starts to cross the street, 77% of people, even if they don't look left or right, they simply start to follow the guy in suit. But if you're wearing just some casual shoes or like some casual wear and you do the same behavior, most people will be hesitant and will not follow you, but they will make the decision based on somebody they trust subconsciously. So authority creates trust. You can have an advice from your doctor or your car mechanic and you don't know anything, you're not gonna doubt it, you're gonna follow it. And this can lead to amazing things when you follow what your doctor says, because it can save your life. But sometimes you have soldiers that are sworn to protect civilians in their country, and their crazy dictator tells them to go and start killing people. And they do it, they follow blindly. And if you ask them why, they don't think it through. Just a soldier following order. And then they end up doing amazing atrocities. So you can see how this Rule and cognitive bias of authority can strongly influence even our deepest behavior, the deepest way we think. And if you look around us today, the narrative, especially on media, social media, it's always about having some form of expert, some form of research, some form of authority figure that is going to tell you why the narrative is true, why this is correct, why you should think this way, why you should do that. You see it all the time in advertising. You know, big star, love this product, you should love it too. And, you know, everywhere around us, we are bombarded by those authority figures, those stars, those people we respect. And it's used against us because they know so much how much it influences us. So the way to step back and undo those cognitive biases, if they're working against you, is to simply step back, look for more information, question what you think, uncover more. Is it true? What else could this mean? What else do I need to know? You know, what do I want in this? Is this serving me? Is there another way of thinking? What is it that I'm not thinking about? When you start to question your thought and what is being told you, and you start to just look at different information, different pieces, and you start to think for yourself, you reclaim your power back. And now your brain is giving more energy to come up with new information, new ways of thinking, and you can start to dismantle, you know, those habitual ways of thinking if they're not working for you right now. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments, like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Be well.